Hey everybody, happy Sunday. Okay. You're probably wondering, why is he playing a Beatles song? Why is he playing a strange guitar? I don't know. You know why? Because this is the first, happy Sunday by the way, it's the first weekend where I've actually had no pressure for a gig to learn stuff or keep stuff in shape. Important to keep stuff in shape, guys. Cheers, my relic Fender cup comes out again. Yes. Anyhow, yes, keep stuff in shape. So if you're what that means is if you're playing, if it's that band that you play with, maybe I don't know, maybe once or twice a year, and you think that's easy stuff. No, go over those tunes. Go over those tunes. If your band hasn't played in a month, go over those tunes. Why not? Why? And don't ever. Don't ever say, that last song, that's easy. I can play that in my sleep. That's the one you're gonna screw up. Okay, that's the one you're gonna screw up because you didn't put in time in. Just play them. Just play them. Just speed play them. Just go through. Okay, that's the riff. That's the verse. That's the chorus. And go over those guitar solos, boys. You lead guys, go over those guitar solos because you will grab a note wrong or something like that, and you'll. And everyone's got phones these days, so you know they'll record you and they go, "Oh my God, okay, let's delete that." Yeah, so no pressure weekend, no pressure weekend. Actually, I do have stuff I could be doing right now. I mean, I got a couple major shows coming up that involve playing songs I've never played before, so I should be working on those right now. But you know something? It's the first weekend. I'm gonna take a break. You know, I'm down in my man cave here, my guitar cave. All you guys have one of these, right? I hope you do. I hope you do. You have this place where you can go and just basically delve into these things. Maybe not this thing, but these things. You know why? Because you know we all musicians have to have a spot to create, and I hope you guys, all musicians out there that watch this, have that area to create. That's a comfort zone, and this place is a mess down here. You know, I should give you a little tour, but it's kind of embarrassing. It's kind of a mess. You know, the camera shot that you guys see is just kind of the cleanest it is, and it's not even clean. Look at this mess over here. But anyhow, my wife Angela says, "Why do you disappear down there and all that?" Because this is my favorite place in the world. You know, guitars here, the perfect guitar sound. You can always just dial up because it's there. You know, there's no how do you say, distractions or any kind of anything to mess up the perfect guitar sound that you like. You know, your guitar sound should be the perfect guitar sound for you. No one else. No one else. That's why when everyone plays through Eddie Van Halen's rig when he was alive, they only sounded like themselves because it's for you, right? Anyhow, but I was listening. I was just kind of just having a 3-hour morning down here of practice and getting up early on a weekend. That's what I do. My routine is basically I get up early and I check out emails. I try not to get too caught up in work because you know you turn on the emails and stuff like that and you get caught up in work, which is not good when you have your leisure time, so don't do that. Try not to do that. You know, stuff's important, work's important too. But got down here, just put some videos on to watch, you know, always about guitars. Did a bunch of repairs to guitars that have been sitting here for the studio that have been for months, half a year. Guitars have been sitting down here that I had to repair, so I got a bunch of that stuff done. And then I just, you know, thought, you know, as I'm watching Rick Beato videos, which I love, thanks Rick for doing videos that are a lot better than mine and a lot more interesting. But he had this video about streams on Spotify and the bands that were 4 bands that are going to be around forever because they're still being streamed on Spotify. Nirvana was one, The Police, Queen, and the Beatles. Okay, those are the four that are the most streamed for bands. It was most streamed for bands that hadn't had an album out in 30 plus years. Queen hasn't put out an album since Freddie died. Of course, the Beatles. Enough said there. Nirvana, same thing. Death closed out the band, and the Police have really not done much other than those really. No, they have only done those albums. They haven't done anything else other than have some appearances here and there. But the song that was streamed the most by the Beatles was "Here Comes the Sun," which is beautifully simple song. As I get older, you pronounce words wrong. You notice this? I don't know if you're old like me. I think it's Capo 7. I just threw it on to start playing it because, as a guitar teacher, you have to teach this song a lot. And I just kind of threw the Capo 7 on. I think that's right. Is it not? Capo 7 is the same as Hotel California. Yeah, anyhow. And I'm playing it on this lovely guitar, which I'll talk about in a second. But yeah, older music, staying alive, will stay around forever. You'll be still, my great grandkids will probably still be listening to the Beatles and Aerosmith and all those bands, because if you want to hear AI music, does anyone want to hear AI music? Does anyone say, hey, that's a good thing? That's a good thing that computers are generating our music, music is completely based on creativity and real players and real people who hit strings and stuff like that. And another video I watched was a bunch of studio guitar players talking about a solo, and the solo was Peg by Steely Dan, and the guy who actually played it was right here, and then three other guys, Beato was one of them, brilliant players, were trying to duplicate it, and there was these little nuances, these very little things that the guy was stopping him saying, no, that's not right, that's not right. Jay Graydon was the guitar player who played Peg. And it's because it was all that human quality, the human, real drums, real guitars, real fingers hitting strings, real people writing real songs, and real emotions. How are you going to get that from AI? I don't know. Enough said. That's about it. That's all I can say about that. But yeah, there is a big concern in the music industry right now that it's just going that way, and sadly, I think we live in a lazy world. Technology is making us lazy, and you have to work for certain things in life. Not to preach here and sound like everyone's dad, but you have to work for certain things in life and work towards them. For instance, my band, Bridge on Fire, played at a stage at Gage Park on Canada Day last week, and we got placed on a stage which was mostly original acts, and we were a cover band. We're a tribute to arena rock and hard rock covers from the 70s and 80s, and we played a very family friendly set. We played Come Sail Away by Styx, we played Jump by Van Halen, very general things that would draw people in. We drew people in, we drew a huge crowd in, and we had some energy on stage. I was watching the other bands, and while they were all really good and they wrote their own music, which was admirable that they could do it, but their some of their performances were a little self-indulgent in that hey, this is a song that we wrote, and hope you like it, and there was no energy to it. Make it look like you like it. I want to know that you like your own song and you love playing it and you're showing it to me. And I've had this conversation with Jacob, my son, last night, and he said the same thing. He's been doing a whole bunch of stagehand and basically tech work for a bunch of bands in Toronto. He was at North by Northeast and a whole bunch of other festivals this summer and in the spring too. He's been volunteering and working for, and he says the same thing. Some of these new bands that are writing music don't have the fire. So get the fire in your playing, and get the fire. Get some energy in there. We had some energy playing tunes that were 30 years old, and people were jumping for joy. Same reason why those four bands are huge on Spotify. and their music has that energy and love, and keep that in, and AI can't do that for you. I'm sorry. They can't have that emotion. You're not going to look up some guy and say, hey, that's that guy who made that AI song. Isn't he great? I'm looking at pictures of him. I have posters of that guy sitting beside his computer on my wall, like I had pictures of Kiss on my wall when I was a kid. I don't think so. I don't think so. Anyways, what do you guys think? Some really good opinions out there. Thanks for those of you who do comment. And, you know, it's always food for thought. You know, you want to think about these things and you know, and keep things going. Anyhow, this is a Music Vox. Sadly, I don't know the name of the model. Space Ranger. Music Vox Space Ranger. You might have remembered these guitars in guitar magazines. They were advertised long back, a long time ago. It was probably in the 90s. Might have been in the 2000s. I don't remember, but a really amazing student of mine named Mike and Stacy, his wife, took lessons with me a while back, and they were just a couple that just wanted to play music, and she played drums and he played guitar, and they're wonderful people that I love so much. Unfortunately, Mike has had some really bad health issues lately, and but he loved these guitars. He had the whole line. He had I think he had 20 at one point. He loved them. They were interesting because they were different. They're actually incredibly well made. Like, these were a little expensive when they came out, but they have choice the parts on them. It's not like these are chintzy, you know, Indonesian parts. These are the real deal for Tuna Mac bridges and pickups. And if you open it up, the electronics are pretty amazing. And it's got, you know, vintage tuners on here. The real deal. Obviously, these guitars did not take off, but you know, I'm amazed. I'm just very happy that he donated this guitar to our school. Of course, it's down here in my vault. But the guitar's name is Elwood because it was given to me probably the same week that Neil Elwood Peart died, which was one of my heroes in Rush, drummer. Do I need to say that? Do I need to even say that? Neil Peart. His middle name was Elwood, and this guitar is Elwood. Neil didn't play guitar, but who cares? It was the same week. That's why I named it that. Anyways, but yeah. If anyone thinks that Les Pauls don't stay in tune well because of the headstock, you might want to take a look at this sucker. Yeah, but man, did he ever have he still has a beautiful collection of these. Seafoam green one that was amazing. Different pickup configurations of P90s and all kinds of different models. And it's an interesting guitar, and it's great when it comes out to play. It plays incredibly well. It's like I said, these are amazingly well played, well made guitars. If you see one out there, they're probably out there. Music Vox, Space Ranger. It's weird. I might start playing this on stage. Just to freak people out. Anyhow, thanks for watching Bridge on Fire. It's got lots of stuff coming up. I have some projects coming up, some live stuff. Avalon Music Academy will be on stage in Harmony Square outside on Friday, July 26th. We're doing a tribute to the telephone. We're doing all songs about the phones. Jacob and I next weekend, July. Another thing that I do in my life is any month that starts with the same letter, I always say the other month. So I almost said January 13th. You know, it's definitely not January outside. July 13th, next Saturday night, we'll be at our favorite new pub that loves us and we love them, the King George in Hamilton at the end of Hess Village. Beautiful little pub. Come down and see us. It's always a great time there. Sports is always on the TV screens. We watched the first Leaf playoff game there as we played our set. But great times. Come down and see us. Request a song. We'll play it. We'll try our best to play it. We played everything in our acoustic set, from Crazy Train to, you know, I don't know. We played some strange stuff. Anyways, cheers to everybody out there who's having a great summer. Happy summer to you all. Get out and see some live bands. Get out and see your friends play in live bands. I'm your friend, come out and see me play. Anyways, yeah, I always have people that see me on Facebook come out, and it's great. They all call me Dards. That's how I know you only know me from Facebook. By the way, my name's Darren. Say hey Darren, and you'll mess me up big time because when you say hey Dards, I know, hey, well, you're a Facebook guy, so my brain goes to that Facebook list of friends. But Darren. Anyways, this is a long video for something I had to talk about nothing. Anyhow, take it easy. Have a great one. Enjoy your week. See ya. Bye.